various heads of the CLC areas in the areas, as well as many labor leaders and heads of labor unions themselves. Matter of fact, on Thursday I'll be meeting with the regional heads of the CTA, the California Teachers Association in Fresno, hoping that they will be able to endorse me. I'm doing the same thing with the Central Labor Council in Fresno, to which I spoke to their group at their Labor Day breakfast. I did the same thing with the Merced Mariposa Central Labor Council the same day on Labor Day for lunch. And unfortunately I had a concert to conduct that evening where I would have been doing the same thing with the Tuolumne Stanislaus County Central Labor Council. But yeah, I'm strongly pro-labor.
I have a question. Questions for you. What is it with the Blue Dog and this healthcare?
The blue, well,
because I think, you know, I'm really confused. Because we're not really, it's like the Republicans are selling their message. I grew up in England, so I know what, you know, using the public medical system is like. From Michigan, Canada is right there. Yeah. And yet, today, we buy medicine, most of us from here, that cannot afford healthcare, buy medicine from Canada. Canada Online Pharmacy is the cheapest way for Americans to purchase health insurance. Drugs. Yet, the Republican Party is sitting out there fighting and then selling their message. Why can't we sell our message? Why are we not connecting? Why are we not making this? And then we have Blue Dog Democrat fighting for something that should be working for the people.
That is exactly correct, and it's why I am so irritated with my own party. The Democrats, fortunately not to the same degree as the Republicans, but the Democrats are bought and sold by corporate interests. And that's what infuriates me. I don't want to say anything badly about Democrats or Blue Dogs in particular, but I will assure you right now, I will never join the Blue Dog Caucus. I will not be a Blue Dog Democrat. And yes, I have to sound like Bill Clinton, but I feel your pain, absolutely, because I share your pain, I share your anger. The people are not being served by their government in this country today, and that's galling, it's infuriating.
Well, we should just give up on the media. I mean, that's the
what
basic,
media?
The bottom line is the media is a mouthpiece for the corporate oligarchy, and so, I mean, we have to find new ways to get our information out. It's not going to be on TV.
I got a question, actually media related. With the latest budget that Obama has proposed, if you listen to NPR and you read any of the newspapers, any of the mainstream, I'm talking New York Times, Washington Post, any of them, there's always talk about cuts, 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 but there's never one single word about cutting war. Mm-hmm. Never. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can look in vain in any of those journals of daily opinion that I mentioned, and you won't find it. What would you do once you got into the House, where I guess that's true that budgets, the financial bills start in the House, right? Who would you align with, and what would you do to get our point of view promoted?
Well, the greatest voice that we have in the House right now is Dennis Kucinich, who has actively advocated over and over and over not okaying, not approving the military budget. That's how you end the war in Afghanistan. That's how you end the war in Iraq. You do not fund it. It is the, you know, and again, I hate seeing what Bush did in adding to the powers of the executive and taking away what is supposed to be the powers of the judiciary. But he somehow found the ability to declare war, which is not a power implied in the Constitution for the executive. The way that you then subvent that is by not funding the war, and that's what the House could do. Simple enough.
What chances would there be?
Unfortunately, very slim. Because anybody who stood up and said, I am not going to fund the war, I'm going to oppose funding for the military, is going to be roundly attacked by both sides, by Democrats and Republicans.
Because that's what happened during the campaign, remember? It was the biggest issue. You know, you won't fund the war, you won't fund the war. Then now, even before the president sent troops to Iraq, McCain was on every national television advocating that, you know, you can't leave the military guys out there without sending them support. They were getting killed. So it's like a no-win situation.
And I have to reiterate the point that I've made during the day today. I support our troops fully. It's not the troops' decision to go fight the wrong war. And I also declare, and it ties in with healthcare, I am livid about what is happening to our returning veterans in this country. You know, Harvard came out with a very, very in-depth study a couple of years ago showing that in this country today, every year we are losing about 44,000 people because they do not have access to health care. They don't have health care insurance. 44,000 people. About a year later, Harvard came out with a new report showing that every year, 2,000, on average, 2,262 American veterans are dying because they do not have access to health care. Now, people are under this misapprehension that if you serve in the military, you get VA health care for life. It's not true. If you serve in the military, you only get VA health care for life if you have a service-related injury or a condition.
They try to make it all pre-existing.
Right.
Especially the psychological issues.
Right, exactly. And that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
If we can't take care of our own veterans who actually put their lives on the line to defend the country, even if it was in an ill-conceived long war, what does it say about us as a society?
Right.
What does it say about the rich who run the
suck.
country?
Exactly.
We're mean.
We are.
We're wrong.
Yep.
We're wrong.
No, it needs to be changed.
Yes.
Hey, I heard, were you going to speak tomorrow on Morning Mayor too?
No, just this morning.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's going to be available now
On
online.
archives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be available tomorrow.
We had a question over here. I
What
think.
morning, Mayor, right, Howard?
No, Mayor Sabatino, his radio show?
He's
Or blog
not
show?
a mayor.
He has a show called The Morning Mayor.
Is he on that Assyrian channel?
No, it's on the Blog Talk Radio, but anyway.
There's a question in here.
Yeah, I have a question about jobs, because you mentioned that's one of your priorities. My first question is, how would you bring jobs, and what types of jobs? And my second question is, how would you address the problem of the brain drain in the valley? Because I think that's a major problem. My generation, you know, I see a lot of my fellow high school comrades, you know, we went to school and got educated, and then only to get out and go, okay, well, if I want to stay close to my family, I'm going to have to take less pay, a lower, you know, a job beneath my ability, and so that's where I'm, you know, coming from right now. And I'd love to stay in the valley. You know, it has it's a little conservative for me, but at the same time, I love the agriculture. I love that, you know, we're so close to nature and whatever direction you go, and I'd really like to stay here. But at the same time, I'm fraught with this decision. You know, I can't make a living here and succeed and go up the ladder. I'm kind of, you know. So what would you do?
What I would do, what I've been advocating for many, many years before it became fashionable, but before it was an Obama initiative, is green jobs, sustainable energy development. And believe me, I could go on for hours on this single subject alone, and I'm sure it'll feel like it anyway. But that is what we have got to look at first. We have got to create an outlet for well-trained, well-educated young people, because it is, to me, criminal. Mariposa County has one of the oldest median ages because there are no jobs there for young kids. You go to the generally known thing in Mariposa is they get out of Mariposa County High School, the only high school, and then they're gone. That is for the families who can afford to send them away because there are no jobs there. We have got to bring jobs in. My first priority will be the creation of green jobs, maybe a green job think tank, something that we are now finally putting into some limited practical application is solar, wind. You know, I love what's been going on for years in Altamont and Pass. Well, that could be happening all over the east side of the valley where you have those warm thermal uplifts coming in every afternoon. I can just imagine what could be done there. And the stupid thing is, we are having to buy our turbine generators, our windmills from China.
I know.
Why in the hell are we not making, and I'm so sorry about my filthy language.
She's sleeping.
Then in that case,
She'll say that's a bad
Isn't
word.
this pretty tame compared to what we usually do?
I'm so sorry for my loud voice. We are, you know, the stupid thing is we are subsidizing the very government that is putting us further into debt. Creating those sorts of things here, that's, I mean, the minor first step. But what I really want to do is, we have not put R&D dollars into developing the new wave energy, sustainable, renewable energy of the future. Right now we're operating on kind of, you know, the 20 years old new wave renewable future energy. We've got to look at what else can be done, the things that you and I cannot even fathom today. Because we have not put any money into developing those things. And why? Corporations are not doing it. Our federal government should be the one that inspires